This video is brought to you by Soccer.com, North America's largest online soccer retailer. Be sure to use coupon code 1SR4U at checkout for free shipping within the US on any order of $100 or more. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feed video of the brand new Puma King SL in the yellow and black colorway. As a whole, I didn't know what to think of the King SL after I saw that it was going to be a full synthetic upper, but after seeing it in person, having it in my hands, I have to say I am very impressed by this particular release from Puma. For those of you that are familiar with the King series, it is one of the longest series of soccer shoes currently out there on the market, and it's kind of always been about providing that classic feel, that old school design, and not really changing all that much throughout the years, kind of being that trusty old school soccer shoe that a lot of people really do like, and it's always been a good shoe in terms of performance. This is the first time that we've ever seen Puma kind of redesign the King and make it a lot more exciting. They've made it a lot more streamlined and added these modern elements, not only in the technological aspects of the shoe, but just in the overall look, kind of getting rid of that flap tongue that nobody really seemed to like. And in the long run, I think this is a good decision by Puma. They've created a shoe that's much more attractive to the younger generation. And like I said, the King has always been a solid performer. It just always seemed to be overlooked because it wasn't all that exciting. But I think they've brought the excitement with the new version of the King, especially the SL model. Like I said, I was skeptical about this particular release from Puma when I found out that it wasn't going to feature a natural leather upper, whether the leather be kangaroo leather, calfskin leather, or anything, any kind of leather period. It's made out of a full synthetic upper, which, like I said, just seems unusual. It's the first King ever to not feature a natural leather upper of any sort. But what instead Puma have introduced here is a brand new premium Japanese microfiber synthetic leather material that, honestly, if you didn't tell me that this shoe was a synthetic, I would just assume that it was leather, because the material is honestly that nice on here. It's a synthetic material with the goal of feeling like leather, very similar to like the Nike's Kangolite synthetic material that people are really big fans of, including myself. And this is kind of up to par as far as the quality is concerned. Just from what I can tell in my hand, I'm really excited to try these out and see how the touch on the ball actually is with this particular synthetic. But honestly, it feels very, very good and looks and just moves and feels just like a natural leather upper is. So that's very good. Obviously, it does have the performance benefits of a synthetic upper, and that it's going to be a little bit lighter weight. It's not going to stretch as much. It's not going to retain as much water or absorb as much water. It's going to dry a lot quicker, and it's going to keep its shape a lot longer. So again, very excited to give these a try and see how this synthetic upper actually does perform. You can see you still have that central lacing system just like the standard version of the Puma King, with this microfiber tongue that's very, very thin with the perforations running through there, just like the Puma King Finale SL did have, which was the last version of the King SL. As far as the heel is concerned, or the ankle area, it's cut exactly the same like all the other Puma Kings. It's not lower cut or anything like that, so you're going to get a little bit of extra support from this particular shoe. And then as far as the heel liner is concerned, if you guys can see that, there is kind of like a texturized or rubberized synthetic leather heel liner on here, which is going to lock your heel in place and feels like nice and soft. There's a good amount of padding in there for how lightweight this shoe actually is, and it is very, very light, which I will talk about a little bit later. As far as the sole plate and heel counter is concerned, it is a one-piece sole plate and heel counter, which we're seeing a lot of in the lightweight releases. The sole plate and heel counter is made out of a P-Bax material, which is a very responsive, very flexible plastic that is not only very durable, but also just makes for a very good sole plate and heel counter material. You do have that external heel counter, all one piece, and it feels very, very rigid, which is nice. It doesn't feel flimsy or anything like that. It's going to provide that nice support in the heel, and it's also going to provide some good protection should you take a blow to the back of the foot. As far as the stud pattern and sole plate is concerned, the sole plate, like I said, it's full P-Bax. You have this one stiffener running through the midfoot to provide that nice stiffness when you are striking the ball, whereas the forefoot remains nice and flexible when you are running, which is definitely a good thing because you're going to want that flexibility just to make the shoe feel a lot more comfortable when you are running around. As far as the sole plate itself is concerned, it does feature the kind of newly designed stud pattern from Puma. Very similar looking to, let's say, the Addy Zero, but at the same time, very, very different. You have these kind of rectangular shaped studs. You have 3 in the forefoot on each side, which is somewhat unusual, with the one conical stud in the middle, and then, of course, your 4 studs in the back, which is nothing that's too out of the ordinary. The studs themselves are pretty long, a little bit longer than I expected them to be, and I'm very curious to see how it is going to perform. The King SL does feature a slightly different stud pattern than the regular King, and don't worry, I will be getting the regular King in very, very shortly, and kind of compare the two when I do have that in. Also keep in mind that they have implemented the Aptolast technology, or the Aptolast shape, to the Puma King series, which they have never done before. It's always been that same round toe shape, but now you have slightly, I don't know if you guys can see that, very similar to like the Evo Speed, where it's kind of like anatomically formed to your foot, where the big toe is kind of the pointed section of the toe box, and then it kind of tapers around just like the shape of your foot. And I have tried these on. You will see it in the on feet portion. These fit extremely well. I'm very, very happy with how they feel on feet. But that's pretty much it as far as the unboxing portion is concerned, and we'll move on to a quick weigh-in so you can see exactly what these shoes weigh. Given that this is the super light or SL release of the Puma King, they obviously had lightweight in mind as far as the overall design is concerned. And assuming why they did use a synthetic leather upper over a natural leather upper is to make the shoe as light as possible. And honestly, they are extremely lightweight. The shoe has a listed weight of 5.8 ounces, which is incredibly light for a shoe of this type. Very similar to that of the Adizero, if not exactly on par in terms of overall weight that you can actually feel both in hand and on feet. As far as the insole concerned, I always like to show you guys the insole. It does feature a fairly minimalistic insole, but for the most part, it's not the thinnest insole I've ever seen, and it's not the most cushioned insole I've ever seen. I know you guys just like to see it, so I thought I'd show it on camera. I'll show you guys the weight of these shoes. Keep in mind, this is a brand new pair in the size 9 US. Again, the listed weight is 5.8 ounces, so we'll throw them on the scale. And they weigh in at 6 ounces, so 0.2 ounces over the listed weight, which is honestly not too bad at all. A lot of shoes have much lower listed weights than actual weights, and of course they do measure different sizes, so perhaps a smaller size would weigh a little bit less. Actually, not perhaps, it definitely will weigh a little bit less, but as far as hitting that 6 ounce mark for a shoe of this type, that is very, very impressive, and they're going to feel both very light in hand as well as on feet. Again, very similar to that of the Adizero. But that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion is concerned, and I'll leave you to the on-feet portion. Alright, here's a look at the Puma King SL on feet, and honestly I'm very happy with the overall fit of the shoe. It's very similar to that of the Puma King SL, the Finale SL, the last version, but I would say the toe box is a little bit smaller due to that Aptolast shape that Puma has implemented on this model. I'm a big fan of it. Very similar fit to that of, let's say, the Evo Speed, but just not as wide through the midfoot. Everything feels locked in and held in place really nicely. Considering this is a synthetic shoe, it has a really tight fit, but still has that softness that a leather shoe would normally bring. And for that reason, I really have to applaud Puma for this particular synthetic. I've had it on my feet for about 15 minutes now, and it really seems to have softened up and almost is forming instantly to my foot. You can see there's very little creasing on the shoe, which is unusual because it is synthetic, but it reacts very much like leather, which is very impressive from a first-time synthetic from Puma. So I applaud them for this brand new synthetic. I'm very excited to see how it does feel in terms of touches on the ball. As far as width is concerned, I wouldn't call this an overly wide-fitting soccer shoe. So if you do have a little bit wider feet, this is probably not the best choice. And as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size to an extent. They just have a very tight fit. I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit is very tight in the forefoot and toe box and the overall length of the shoe, but that's something that I like to wear my shoes that tight. I know not everybody likes to wear their shoes overly tight, especially in the toe box area. So if you want that tight fit like I have here, definitely stay true to size, and if you want that little bit of extra wiggle room, definitely go up half a size for the most comfortable fit. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion is concerned, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing plus on-feet video of the brand new Puma King SL. I'm really happy with this shoe as a whole. This synthetic upper is really, really nice. The fit's great. They're super lightweight, and I'm really curious to try out this brand new stud pattern from Puma. As far as the full review is concerned, I will have that up in the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, if you do want to check out that review page, which you will find linked in the description, you're going to find the high quality images of this shoe that'll give you a better idea as to how it actually does look in person, some of the details that you won't find in the stock photos, and you're also going to find some buy it now links with the best prices online, including some exclusive SR4U coupon codes to get you guys some additional discounts if you are interested in ordering a pair of these shoes. As far as any questions you guys have regarding this shoe, feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you could leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. If you did enjoy the video and you're not subscribed to the channel already, be sure to hit that subscribe button for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear. And I also have an Instagram now, guys. My Instagram is VujoJosh, just like this channel name, so if you do want to look me up or just go ahead and click the link down below in the description, you definitely can do that. Other than that, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video, and as always, thanks for watching.